Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. I'm going to be using the team that I brought to Anaheim Regionals this past weekend, and sorry for the lack of uploads. I was competing at that tournament, so I wasn't able to upload the last couple of days, but the team you see on the screen is the team that I used at Anaheim. I ended up with a 8-1 record in the first day, so I moved on to the top 16, but unfortunately I lost in the first round of top 16, so I ended up finishing 9th at that tournament, which was nice, but a little bit underwhelming. I really wanted to defend my title from last year, so I was a little bit disappointed, but still pretty happy about my run overall, and I really like my team. This team is obviously very similar to the one of the previous teams we used on Road to Rank, and the same team that I used to win the Melbourne Challenge, which was a grassroots event, but I have Gigalith over Ninetales because that was something that I thought was a pretty good meta call, and it definitely was a crucial part to the team. So yeah, I want to feature it a little bit. I actually played on battle spot a little bit before regionals just to get some practice in. Ended up getting into the kind of lower 1900s. I was actually good for like first in the country, which was pretty cool, but see if I can push it any further. Do want to use a new team pretty soon with some Pokemon that I haven't tried out yet, but I haven't had time to get a new team in game and didn't want to use a Porygon2 team, so I wanted to show off this team at least for a little bit. So yeah, we'll see how far we can take it. I will switch, like I said, to a new team pretty soon, but right now don't exactly have the time to build a completely new team from scratch. But I will be competing in a pretty cool tournament this weekend that's going to be streamed online. It's an invitational tournament that's held by an organization that mainly holds Hearthstone tournaments, and I'll link the website in the description below. But it's an invitational tournament with some of the best players in VGC history, like Wolfie, Sajun, Shoma, and Marcus Thatcher. I know Agloza is going to be in it as well, A-Drive, and Enosh. So it's an 8-person tournament. You're split into 2 groups of 4, and it's going to be streamed on Saturday and Sunday. I'll be competing and commentating, so yeah, it should be a really fun time. I'm actually playing Sajun in the first round, and I've only played Sajun once. I was back in 2014, so hopefully it's a good show. But yeah, just gonna look for our first opponent of the day. I think one of the struggles of ending up with a rating that's a little bit higher is at this point finding opponents is nearly impossible, so hopefully we can find someone soon. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, I can't find anyone, so we're gonna jump back into things. Okay, we're gonna find Snaky Wakey from Utah with a rating of 1573, so clearly, I think this might actually be Bridger Snow, who I think was using this team at regionals. So yeah, we're at the point where they can't find anyone that's around the 1900s, so ended up getting matched up with a 1500 rated opponent. But it's a really cool team. Polytoad, Golduck, Muck, Dragonite, Mudsdale, and Trevenant. So Porygon plus Gigalith looks really essential here. I think Feeny is going to be quite important as well because of its ability to check Mudsdale. I think I've ran into this team. I don't know if it's the same player using it, but I ran into this team and it was like Choice Band Skydrop Dragonite. So that's kind of what I'm anticipating. Trying to figure out what to lead with here. Porygon's really good. Kind of like Arcanine here because he doesn't have any Intimidator, so I can intimidate the Dragonite right away. Definitely going to want Gigalith here, and for the last one I think I'm going to go Feeny. Yeah, I'm pretty content with that. I think Chomp's not... It's good here for the Muck, but other than Muck it doesn't really do that much. I can't really touch Dragonite. And my Muck here could definitely make a case for, but the Mudsdale on my opponent's team is a pretty big threat, so I want to have multiple ways to check it. So I have, you know, Intimidate from my Arcanine, Ice Beam from Porygon, and Tapu Fini can kind of come in and call mine in on it. My opponent's Muck is going to be a threat, but Gigalith is a pretty good answer to it because of its ability to, you know, you can't knock off the Z Crystal, and Poison Jab doesn't do that much. So yeah. Gonna get into this first game. Let's see what he ends up leading with. Definitely a very cool team in general. I mean, Dragonite, Trevenant, not really used that often. One thing I do have to be aware of is he could potentially reverse my Trick Room if I do go for it, and we see Dragonite and Muck come out as a lead here. So I think I'll take this. There's definitely a potential Skydrop coming out and a knockoff going into Porygon though. So in anticipation of the knockoff, what I can actually do is switch out and I get an attack increase. Obviously, that's not that great. So I could actually switch out directly into Gigalith here. And that will break Dragonite's multi-scale if it does have that. And I think I'll just go for a Flare Blitz onto Muck. Yeah, my goal is to knock out Muck because it's a significantly bigger threat to Porygon and Tapu Fini than Dragonite is. So Muck actually switches out. Maybe Polytoad coming in. Ooh, Mudsdale. Okay, that's not the best, but it's also not the worst, because I can actually just swap Porygon back in now that I don't have, or I don't have the fear of losing my Eviolite. Life Orb Flare Blitz should still do a considerable amount to this Mudsdale as well. But we actually do end up seeing the Sky Drop, so it will take Arcanine into the sky. So, nice play there. Yeah, that's actually pretty bad, because Mudsdale isn't intimidated. So, he's probably going to drop me. I mean, I could just fire Z-move, or I don't have the Z-move, sorry, Flare Blitz Mudsdale, and Z-move Dragonite. Huh, that was a really good play. Maybe I should have stayed in with Porygon. I could switch into Tapu Fini, but I think I'm actually going to prioritize just knocking him out. So yeah, I'm going to Continental Crush Dragonite and Flare Blitz into Mudsdale. I think I should have protected Arcanine. So yeah, Sky Drop's going to come down. That's going to do an okay amount, not too much. But I will get the Flare Blitz off. With Life Orb, I mean, Mudsdales typically are like Assault Vest and pretty bulky, but that should put it in like Muddy Water KO range. Yeah, most definitely does. So it's going to get a stamina boost, but now Muddy Water should be able to just knock it out. We'll probably see a high horsepower coming out. Question is who it targets. You would think it's going to target down Arcanine, but it could target down the Gigalith. Yep, going to go into Arcanine. But I think that's a trade I'm willing to take. The only fear is now I, still struggle a little bit against the Muck in the back. But I will be able to knock out Dragonite here. So we trade knockouts, but I do 75% to the Mudsdale, whereas Gigalith still has full HP. The real question is who do I want to switch in coming into the next turn, because I could bring Porygon or Fini. I'm more inclined for Fini though, because if Mudsdale is Assault Vested, then I can just Muddy Water and switch out into Porygon. Actually, I don't even need to switch out into Porygon. I could just Muddy Water and attack with Gigalith, because I checked the biggest threat, which is the Mudsdale. So I'm going to bring in Fini. My opponent's team also doesn't have that many great answers to Fini. I don't think Politoed or Golduck are going to make an appearance here. If Politoed does come out, that actually boosts my Muddy Water damage. We've obviously seen Muck, so it's going to be Politoed, Golduck, or Trevenant. I'm going to guess it's Trevenant as the last one, but I'd be happy to see Politoed, because that actually increases my damage output, especially against the Muck in the back. But yeah, that was a really good switch into Mudsdale. I didn't really consider that, and I mean, it ends up working out alright, because we trade knockouts, but the Muck is a pretty big threat on my opponent's team. I didn't bring Garchomp, so that could come to haunt me, but I'm okay with my position right now. Yep, Muck just comes back in. That's not too much of a surprise. So I have a bunch of options here. Now, my opponent might just switch out the Mudsdale and Poison Jab me. So what I could do is just protect an Earthquake, but he could just stay in too. Poison Jab shouldn't knock me out anyway, so I think I'll just play it safe and I'll just Muddy Water and Rock Slide this turn, because he's not going to be able to do much damage to Gigalith regardless of what he does here. There could be a Trevenant switching in, but Porygon plus Gigalith can beat Muck, Mudsdale, and Trevenant. If it's Politoed in the back, that's even better for me. Because, yeah, I mean, I think Mudsdale's Assault Vest, but it could not be. Yeah, he's actually not. He protects. Wow, okay. That's fine. But I could have just protected here with my Fini. Muddy Water fortunately does connect with the Muck. Unless he crits me, I should survive Poison Jab relatively easily. Yeah, he's going to Poison Jab. So I could have protected Earthquake there, but I didn't anticipate. Ooh, it actually did a lot more than I was hoping for it to do. But that's fine. It's a 2-hit KO anyway. Yep. So we'll go for the Rock Slide. That's probably going to proc the berry, so yeah, I end up not on the kind of best trade-off, but that's fine. I can just Muddy Water and attack again next turn. I don't see much downside to that. Because, unless he has Shadow Sneak, but I will heal back from leftovers. Yeah, Shadow Sneak should knock me out. So we've confirmed he's not Assault Vest Mudsdale, which is good as well, because that means an Ice Beam from Porygon2 in the back should take care of it. They do have Earthquake. So I think I'm actually going to Earthquake here, so I don't have to deal with the chance of it missing, and Muddy Water. Although Mud could protect. I don't think it will, though. Like, Mudsdale most likely switches out here, and Muck either Poison Jabs Fini or attacks. I guess if Politoed switches in, though, that could be bad. So maybe I want to just Rock Slide again. Yeah. Rock Slide and Muddy Water. Actually, no, I kind of wish I Earthquake, but I ran out of time there. I didn't have time to reselect my moves. Okay, he stays in with both, though. That's fine. Hesitance to switch out makes me really wonder what the last one is, then. This will be a single target Rock Slide, which actually should still do a very good amount to the Muck, and he's just going to Poison Jet me. So yeah, I could have Earthquake to actually just trade knockouts, and that probably would have just won me the game. Rock Slide should still do a very good amount, though, especially with sand damage. Hopefully I don't miss. Okay, I do connect, which is nice. How much does that do? Decent amount, doesn't pick up the knockout, that's fine. Really comes down to what my opponent's last Pokemon is. See if it's Politoed. Golduck's definitely, I'm perfectly fine with that. I think it is Toad, okay. That makes this interesting. Yeah, I wish I Earthquake now. Okay. So even though this is obvious, I think I have to protect and Trick Room. The Porygon can win 1v1, I think, against either of these Pokemon, but it's likely my opponent... like, I really could have attacked there with Gigalith, because my opponent might just double up in a Porygon, but you know you're not knocking out Porygon anyway. So you might as well just Scald into Gigalith, hoping to bait me into attacking. So I need to play it safe here, I think. If Politoed is Taunt, I think I should just lose this, but knockoff plus an attack from Politoed won't knock me out. I'm not sure even if a Scald can... under the rain, I would think it knocks me out, but Gigalith is pretty naturally bulky. But yeah, if I just Earthquake there, I would have won. But I was, like I said, I was fearing Politoed switching in and Muck protecting, which I think would have been a reasonable play. Yeah, so we see Scald into the Protect, which is the correct play. And knockoff comes out into Porygon. So here it's likely Muck is going to Protect, and Politoed is just going to Scald into my Gigalith. So I think I'm gonna... I know Stone Edge is better, but it could miss, and Rock Slide gives me a flinch chance, and if Muck doesn't protect, it knocks it out. So I'm gonna Rock Slide and try attack. If I flinch here, I think I just win the game, pretty much, unless my opponent gets the double protect off. The Politoed, like, because yeah, Muck protects, so not much is obvious. So, let's see. Rock Slide hopefully connects with Politoed. Does connect, that's good. Should do a considerable amount. Yeah, around 40% or so. No chance of status conditions, obviously, because of Misty Terrain. Tri-Attack brings that under 50%. He unfortunately does flinch, and I think that actually just seals up the game for me. Even if he didn't, I think I could still win. If Scald doesn't knock out Gigalith outright, then... because Politoads typically are kind of bulky. So if it doesn't knock me out outright, then I end up winning anyway, because I just Rock Slide Tri-Attack. If it does knock me out, Tri-Attack knocks out Muck anyway, and then it's Politoed versus Porygon. And what I can do is I can continuously recover until the rain exhausts. I don't have my Eviolite, but this Porygon's very specially defensive, and so even though I'm not doing that much damage, I can heal everything off. So now I can just go for... Yeah, I'm not sure Earthquake would pick up the knockout onto Politoed, and he might go for a double protect, so I'm just going to Rock Slide and Tri-Attack again. And fortunately I do connect, so... Yeah, that's why I didn't want to Stone Edge there. I knew, you know, things were in my favor with Rock Slide. That flinch could have mattered, I don't know... Oh, he's actually, the 50% Healing Berry with Politoed. Okay, so yeah, I mean, he is a bulky Politoed. We'll see if Scald could knock out the Gigalith. Yep, he's going to get it off this time, no flinch. Yeah, so I was able to survive that. So, I don't think the flinch... I mean, I guess it could have still mattered, because he could have gotten, you know, now I'm just another attack away from KOing him. But, yeah, that's why I didn't want to Stone Edge. I didn't want to risk missing. Wanted to cover the Muck attacking option as well. Rock Slide doesn't miss here, fortunately. I probably should have just Earthquake against the Muck, though, because it does more than Rock Slide, especially single target Rock Slide. Or, sorry, Earthquake. I can't miss either. That might have just been able to knock out the Muck, and that would have surely sealed up the game for me, because then I could protect Trick Room, but we end up winning here anyway. Really cool team, though. I think a lot of those Pokemon are underused. I mean, Dragonite, you really never see. And it's kind of funny, actually, like, Sagem Park has it on his most... like, he built, like, a fun team that he's been streaming with, and he's been using that a little bit, and that's pretty cool. Although he doesn't have Skydrop on that one. He has Skydrop on Coco, on another team that he was using, but yeah, he has, like, Dragon Dance, Extreme Speed, Tectonic Rage with Earthquake and Protect, which is pretty interesting. So, Dragonite, maybe a Pokemon we'll see a little bit more of in the future, but yeah, that was definitely a scary game because of the fact that you had the Mudsdale was able to switch in, so I lost Muck immediately. Which was, or sorry, I lost my Arcanine immediately to Muck, or to Mudsdale, I don't know why I said Muck. But that was pretty bad because Arcanine does give my opponent's team some trouble. Especially, like, Flare Blitz to Muck does like 75%, which is really good. Obviously, with the 50% healing berry, they heal back most of that, but being able to proc that berry is a big deal. But yeah, that game, I mean, even if, I think he would have needed a double protect because, like I said, I think Porygon wins the 1v1 against Politoed since Porygon can heal and Politoed can't. And he, obviously wasn't, that offensive. So I could stall out the rain. I didn't have Eviolite, but this Porygon is really bulky. So, yeah, but the flinch obviously made things a little bit easier, pretty much sealed things up as opposed to even having to worry about something. But we're just going to look for our next opponent of the day. And we're going to find a Japanese opponent with a rating of 1662. So, yeah, you can see how tough the grind can be when you're climbing up. But he's actually using a Wolf's team from London, which I haven't seen in a while, so that's pretty interesting. Salamence, Muck, Tapu Bulu, Magnezone, Politoed, and Porygon. So, let's see. One Gigalith is going to be very good here. Gigalith and Muck. I'm going to bring both of those 100% as well as Porygon. The question is what I want as my fourth. This one's interesting because Arcanine's tempting. Garchomp's honestly kind of tempting. But I think the lead is what I really need to consider here. We could both go end up Porygon, Muck. Like, I think Porygon Muck is pretty safe on my end. With Gigalith in the back for sure. And for the last one's really tough, honestly. I kind of want Arcanine for Intimidate. Like, you can make a case for everything here. I cannot see my opponent bringing Salamence in this match. It's just not good at all. So I could go with Feeny or Arcanine. Or Garchomp. Running out of time here. I'm gonna go with Feeny. Yeah, I actually don't like that call too much. He has a lot of ways to hit me for super effective, but I guess it helps if my opponent does bring Salamence. The other thing about Feeny is I can actually Calm Mind in front of Porygon. So if I'm in a position where I can Calm Mind freely, that can be important as well. Because playing against Porygon with this team can be a little bit annoying. It's where Muck comes in handy, but my opponent obviously has a Muck as well. Wouldn't be too surprised to see the same lead from my opponent. Garchomp might have been better. But we see Porygon Tapu Bulu. Okay, nice. I'll take that. Because Muck is in a very nice position right now. This is where Arcanine could have been handy, because I could switch Porygon out into Arcanine. But I'm not too worried here. I'm going to get an attack increase, but that's fine. And I get the attack increase before my opponent, so we either speed tie, or he's min speed. Bulu is going to be a threat. But I'm not too worried about it right now. I can't do too much to Muck, if anything at all. So I think I'm actually going to... Porygon's faster than Muck. Definitely going to knock off Porygon. I kind of want to double up into it because I think it might switch out into, like, Muck. Yeah, let's double up into Porygon. I think Muck here, Bulu probably wants to protect because it can't, like, or switch out. Or Grassium Z-move. Oh, that's not fun. I should have recovered in. That was the one thing I didn't consider. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but that is annoying. That's where having Arcanine really would have been nice. That was a clever play. I mean, I just didn't anticipate the grassy move, because I know that's not what Wolf ran, and that actually one-shots Porygon, jeez. So, that's pretty bad, because that means I can't set up Trick Room, but maybe he'll set up Trick Room for me. No, he just tri-attacks. Okay, that's fine. Paralyzes me. That's bad. Mainly because there's a chance of paralysis every turn. Yeah, if I just Poison Jab. I had no safe switch-ins though, and I should have considered Grassium Z-move. That's the one scary thing about this format, like considering what Z-moves your opponent can bring. Yeah, I'll bring in Feeny. The other thing is, yeah, I'm pretty weak to grass. Garchomp maybe would have been the call. Because then I could Tectonic Rage Porygon safely here. So Protect Poison Jab is a very obvious play. Really want to just Calm Mind here. Yeah, I'm going to predict the Protect from Bulu and Calm Mind. And if he doesn't Protect, then we'll trade knockouts, and maybe I'm okay doing that. I guess if Politoed's in the back, that's pretty bad. Okay, he switches out, though. Nice. Into Magnezone. Good. Yeah, I'll definitely take that. That's really good for me. So I need to conserve Muck because it's my way of answering Bulu. Bulu really can't touch Muck. So I'm going to switch my Muck out into Gigalith next turn, and Gigalith... I got fully paralyzed. That doesn't matter. Ooh, he actually Trick Rooms. That's really nice, actually. Because Gigalith can fully take advantage of that. So with that Calm Mind, I can also survive an attack, but I'm going to Protect and switch out into Gigalith right now. And, yeah, that's kind of a surprising Trick Room, but it makes sense because you know Feeney's going to be fast, but, yeah. He might reverse Trick Room this turn, but I'd be okay with that because now I've got the fastest Pokemon on the field with Feeney and the slowest with Gigalith. And that switches up under Trick Room. So I'm going to play it safe here because I've got Earthquake with Gigalith. That might just one-shot Magnezone, given that it's 4 times effective. Yeah, he doesn't reverse Trick Room, he actually Tri-attacks into Feeney and Thunderbolts. Excellent. So that's a really good turn for me. And without the Eviolite, I'm hoping to just knock out... I wonder if I can survive an onslaught of attacks, though. Because, like, I want an Earthquake here, but he could just double up into Feeney again. Wonder if that knocks me out, though. Unless he Specs, I wouldn't think it would. And Earthquake might just one-shot Magnezone. So yeah, I think I'm going to Earthquake Muddy Water here. Maybe Moonblast would have been better. Muddy Water covers the potential Politoed switch in, though. Actually, Moonblast would still do more. Yeah, Moonblast might have been the call. Yeah, so I'm Earthquaking myself. I could have Z-moved Porygon as well. Is he sturdy? Yeah. I guess that's to be expected. I might survive this Thunderbolt, though. I don't know what item he is. No, I can't. Yeah, I should have Z-moved there then. That's okay, though. Because Trick Room is in my advantage. Yeah, he's lefties. That's very annoying. I should have considered Slither. Sturdy was kind of obvious. I like Magnipole is really good because it checks Celesteela. And it makes a lot of sense on this team. And I didn't want to waste my Z-move. But I suffer the consequences. I'm going to Rock Slide and Poison Jab here. Trick Room is running out, so I have to keep that in mind. Really comes down to what the last Pokemon on my opponent's team is. This was a matchup I definitely was in my favor, though, and I didn't play it too well. That last turn was a blunder, because having +1 Feeney against that team is really good, especially if there's a Politoed or Immense in the back. Now dealing with either of those will be a little bit more difficult. Magnezone protects, that's fine. That actually works out in my favor. This is going to be a close one, but I don't like my positioning too much. If I had one more turn of Trick Room, I'd feel a lot better. Yeah, so Porygon hangs on, but I don't... Oh, that's bad. That's so annoying. Yeah, because with that... I mean, I make the same play here of Rock Sliding and Poison Jabbing. Rock Slide should knock out Magnezone in that range, yeah. But with the full paralysis, that means he's forced to switch something in and sacrificing Magnezone. I think I messed up here, actually. I should have doubled up onto a Magnezone slot because Porygon's not a big offensive threat to me right now. Yeah. Could have played this game a lot better in a bunch of points. Magnezone switches out. That's fine by me. Into Bulu. Yeah, I should have Poison Jab that slot. Because Bulu is the main threat to my Gigalith right now. Unless Rock Slide's not going to knock out Porygon in that range. Yeah, I should have jabbed the Bulu slot. Because I knew Rock Slide would knock out that slot anyway, and Porygon's not a threat. So, Yeah, I mean, the paralysis was unlucky, but I just didn't play too well here. I think the biggest misplay was not Z moving and Muddy Watering that turn. It's not over yet, but I think it's going to come down to kind of a 50-50 predict on whether I can knock out Bulu. Also don't even know what my opponent's last one is. But knocking out Bulu there would have been huge. My goal should have been to keep Porygon. Yeah, and Politoed's in the back. So that's pretty bad as well. So this is interesting. With Shadow Sneak, I could knock out Magnezone. Politoed's probably bulky as well. I really want to predict a Protect from Bulu right now. And I had the Z move, which might just one-shot Politoed. He probably has Encore on Toad. But you can't Encore if you Z move. I think I'm going to gamble here and not protect Gigalith. Okay, that's good. Bulu protects. He Perish Songs, but that's okay. Hopefully the Z move knocks out Politoed. I really needed to. I should have doubled up into Politoed, I guess, if I was anticipating the Bulu to protect, for sure. Okay, this is going to be a close finish. So my goal is obviously to just knock out Magnezone. I need Politoed to faint here, though, honestly. I think if it doesn't faint, I might just lose. Yeah, I should have doubled up onto it. Okay, it faints. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. So, I would win the game if, like, we all lose to Perish Song if Magnezone faints, because Perish Song is speed-based, so he would faint before I would faint. So my goal at this point is to just knock out Magnezone, because Perish Song has already been activated. I mean, I think it comes down basically to a double protect, pretty much. Do I want to protect here? I think, like, the question is, does Magnezone protect? Because if it doesn't, then I could actually just knock off Earthquake. Actually, no. I don't think it's going to protect. Oh, this is close. This is close. Okay, I'm going to knock off the Magnezone and protect. Okay, I think that means Magnezone's not protecting. It's gonna Horn Leech into it, okay. Flash Cannon. Please no full paralysis. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I actually win the game now, based off Perish Song mechanics. Also, Muck just knocks out Bulu if I don't get fully paralyzed, so... Pretty sure there's no way I can lose this one unless they change the way Perish Song mechanics work. But my opponent obviously wasn't anticipating that Z move, probably, and I made a really big read just attacking with Gigalith. I played myself into a hole when I needed to make a big play, but now I can just Rock Slide and Poison Jab. And he can't knock out Muck with Bulu. Yeah, my opponent forfeits. Oof, wow, that was a tough one. Yeah, I think my opponent didn't need to Perish Song, honestly. If he just Scalded, maybe he would have had a better shot at winning. So, yeah, I was committed to Bulu protecting that turn because my obvious play was to protect Gigalith and Poison Jab. If I do make that play, then I just lose the game 100% if he does protect with Bulu. So I figured he would think it was really risky of me to attack there, but I ended up going for it because I knew I had the Z move, gambled, and it paid off, fortunately. Not too happy about how I played that one. The Sturdy on Magnezone and the Grassium Z were both things I should have anticipated a little bit better, and that matchup was definitely heavily in my favor because I had Muck and Gigalith. So I was able to play my way out of it, but in the future it's something I have to kind of kind of think of it a little bit more about, because I think Arcanine definitely would have been a good Pokemon to bring into this one. My Porygon did absolutely nothing here, but fortunately my opponent set up Trick Room for me, so I was able to use that to my advantage. Getting that Calm Mind off, basically predicting against the Bulu both times, that was pretty big. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the ones with the team. This team is really fun to use. I'm going to use it for a little bit more until I do get a new team in game, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. As I mentioned, this is the team that I did bring to get 9th at Anaheim. It's going to be it for this one. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, peace.